Dr. Abdul Majid, did you decree that you would believe in Islam, or did Allah decree that you would believe in Islam?
What?
Did you decree that you would believe in Islam, or did Allah decree that you would believe in Islam?
I have a reason to believe in Allah.
Okay, but did you decree this, or did Allah decide this?
Huh? I have a reason to follow Allah's guidance.
I understand that, but did you decree and decide this, or did Allah decree and decide this?
I don't know what Allah has decreed for me, but Allah told me what to do. That's my argument.
Okay, but
I'm not blind. No. I'm not blind having eyes. I'm not deaf having ears, and I'm not dumb having brain to understand. So my thinking is that Allah decreed something for me, but I don't know what. But
okay, but eventually Allah decreed it, right? So the point is not what will eventually happen. The point is whatever happens, did you decree it or did Allah decree it?
Ridwan, you're going to the destination, yet you have not chosen the route.
But that's what matters. Is it Allah's decree or is it your decree what eventually happens?
No. Why you're talking about Allah now? I said to you, I believe this is Allah's decree. But Allah is not saying, okay, I decreed, Jahannam for Abdul Majid and Jahannam for Ridwan. Allah didn't say that.
Okay, but I'm asking you.
His decree is script.
But I'm asking you, so let's say hypothetically that you will end up with belief and you will die as a believer. Was it then your decision and decree to believe, or was it Allah's decision and decree?
Ridwan, I already answered you.
What is the answer? I don't hear the answer.
I already answered you that whatever Allah has decreed, I have not a single doubt about it. But what Allah has decreed for me, and I challenge you, what Allah has decreed for you, nobody, even the third party, cannot say. So
I understand that. I understand that, but you're not answering my question.
Let's stop here.
No, you're not answering my question. I want to ask you.
I'm coming.
If hypothetically you believe, is it your decree or is it Allah's decree?
It is Allah's decree, yes.
Okay, fine. So it is Allah's decree. So that means Allah himself decided what will happen. Allah himself decided whether you will believe or will not believe. So it is Allah himself who has made that choice.
What did Allah decide? No, what did Allah decide? How can you say Allah decided believe or not believe?
I'm not saying he decided. I'm saying I'm presenting a hypothetical. If we are talking about somebody who ends up believing, then according to the Islamic narrative, according to the Islamic belief, logically, it has to be that Allah decreed that this person would believe, or Allah decided that this person would believe. If the person has any choice in that, if you decide or decree something, then that means that is outside of Allah's decree. That makes no sense. That is incompatible with the Islamic belief. Here is the issue. You say Allah decrees everything and you believe in that fully, and he creates and decrees everything. Thank you, by the way. And Allah decrees the reasons. Allah gives us reasons. Eventually, based on Allah's creation and decree, we come to a certain choice that we make between belief and disbelief. Allah created those choices, and the problem is, if Allah created, designed, and decreed everything, then Allah created me just the way I am. Allah designed my brain and my mind and all my functions and capabilities and my environment, everything that influences me. And finally, even if we come to those two choices in the end, if I make the choice to believe or if I make the choice to disbelieve, the eventual choice is also Allah's decree. If I truly have a choice, if I truly can choose independently between belief and disbelief, then that means I am making a choice that is outside of Allah's decree, outside of Allah's creation, outside of Allah's design. If I make a choice, and if Allah created everything, then that means he must have also created my choice to make that choice. Allah must have decreed long before it happens that I would make that choice. Whether it is the right choice or the wrong choice, it is Allah's decree. Can we agree on this? If I make a choice independently from Allah's decree, then that means I acted outside of Allah's creation and outside of Allah's decree, which would be in contradiction with everything that you believe in.
Allah gave you the choice. Allah gave you the choice. I told you. Like, for example, you killed somebody and you say to the judge, I finally chose that. You can't punish me for that. That's my choice. You can't ask the judge to say, why are you punishing me? Because this was my final choice.
The difference is that the judge is not almighty and he didn't create me at my choice. The difference is that the judge is not almighty and he didn't create me at my choice.
there you are. There you are. So that's why you are, the judge will say, no, my dear Ridwan, my Habibi Ridwan, a killing person, you know it's a crime. And killing a life, you have to spend time in the prison.
One eternity later.
I want to conclude the topic because I don't think we will get anywhere with this, but I appreciate the discussion, but I want to conclude it. Of course, you can add to it as much as you want. We should maybe move on to the next question after that. But I want to conclude it by just saying one thing. Dr. Abdul Majid, here's what I think. If I die and I go and stand before Allah and Allah judges me and tells me and asks me why I disbelieved, or he judges me based on my disbelief, I will say to Allah, hey, don't you know, you are the Almighty, all-knowing Creator. Are you not aware that you created me in the very beginning and designed me exactly as I am, as the stupid, flawed, or smart, great being that I am, and that you decreed long before me what exactly I would do, and you even made my final choice for me. It was your decision. If I had a final choice, then that would be outside of your decree, which would be in contradiction with the fundamentals of your whole religion. So therefore, it is your fault. But go ahead and punish me if that's how you function. Obviously, you are not very logical. That's what I will say to Allah when I die, and if Allah exists. That is how I want to rest my case.